there is this. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth was in 1953. My family bought the first TV on our street to watch, and the whole street came to look. She's been queen for most of my life, so of course I'm interested and yes, delighted to see the arrival of her great-grandchild, who will take her place many, many years from now. Americanized as I am, I shall offer my very best wishes. That is my take. Now, how about yours? Please join us on Facebook and give us your all-American opinion. Keep it short, to the point, please, and we will read what you have to say 1 hour from now. Mark? The birthday of a future monarch. Is there any show on television that did not lead with this? Well, we also have China. It's those foreigners who are corrupting us. Beijing goes after the Western drug companies. The left wants a bailout for Detroit. There have been talks, but don't call it a bailout. It's just a helping hand. And here's a successful business in bankrupt Detroit. Les Gold is here. He runs a pawn shop there. 43-year-old Phil Mickelson wins the Open. Diana Rivera retires. Who are the attractive up-and-comers who will take the place of the 40-somethings when they move on? Kill Me is here on that. And believe me, the moment the birth announcement is tweeted out, you will know. We've got 6 or 7 seconds and we'll give you that very big number on housing. It is existing home sales. How many are pulled out from the month before, the year before? Interesting. I've got the number. 5.08 million. That is the annualized rate of selling of existing home sales in America. 5.08%. It is down just over 1% month over month. 5.08 down, just over 1% month over month. Tanya Marco, our own real estate guru, is with us. That's a disappointing number, isn't it, 508?
It is, and I truly think it's because of the lack of inventory. We're going to see that go up as the banks release this inventory. But we did expect it to be at 5.28, so that is a disappointing number for housing.
Now that's interesting, because you say it's because there's not enough homes for sale on the market. A lot of people will be saying, wait a second, mortgage rates have gone from 3.5 to 4.25%, 4.5%. That's the problem.
No,
you say no?
Absolutely not. That doesn't even matter. That's a good realtor's negotiating $10,000 on a $260,000 home at 3.5%. It really only goes up $10,000. So a good realtor could negotiate that down for you. The adjustment of rates right now should not matter in housing. I truly believe it's because inventory hasn't come back to the market, but we're starting to see it.
5,080,000 homes sold in this calendar year. That's what this number is telling us.
Yes.
What's a really good dynamic year, like back in 06 or 05? How many was that?
Good. I think it was 7.
Hit 7?
Yes.
Seven?
Yes, exactly. So we're not close, but we're moving upwards. We would have liked to have seen this go up 1.5% in the realtor community. That would have, and it did not.
Yeah.
So we have room.
What was on low? I'm thinking probably 2009 would have been the low.
I don't know the low.
It would have been more in the 4.
Yes, it would have, yes.
So now we struggle back to 5,080,000. That's all we've got.
Exactly.
And your characterization is that it's disappointing.
It is disappointing. I think it's inventory, and the banks need to let that inventory go. Let the buyers that are out there buy it. Absolutely.
They're holding on. Why would a bank hold on to property that's essentially foreclosed on? And,
Well, prices are going up, and the good old Americans bailed the banks out, so they're making money again. So as As the prices go up, the banks make more money.
Really?
Absolutely.
Is it the bank's fault?
I truly believe that, yes.
Truly believe it?
Truly believe it.
All right, well, listen, Tanya, thank you very much indeed for the expert opinions. Appreciate it. Charles, you want to chuck in? I noted the Dow's done nothing, by the way.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we know Bernanke has two mandates, jobs and inflation. But this housing thing has been really more important to him than anything else. And I think there's still a question mark as to whether or not the spike in rates are hurting, and what that means for the Federal Reserve and their policies.
So, but what you're saying is that Ben Bernanke, he wants a vigorous housing recovery.
Absolutely.
That's why he's chucking the money around.
Listen, if you talk about the wealth effect, the first place most people are going to feel it is that the value of the house is higher, and that's what he wants to sort of trigger that virtuous cycle that still has to be done.
Well, he said he would not increase rates to hurt housing. He said that.
Yeah, okay. But you think is he gonna take away a lesson here? That all this printing of money, well, he got the housing market started, but now it's stopped.
It stopped, but it'll rev up again.
It hasn't really started though on Main Street though. I mean, that's what my argument has been. And maybe you can correct me, but I want to go through these numbers and see the first-time buyers and that kind of thing. But Ben Bernanke, when he's looking for housing, as far as prices, that's happened. But as far as getting everyone enthusiastic, the animal spirits, regular people just aren't out there eager to buy. They'd rather rent than buy. That's a bad
Well, and lending's still tough.
Yeah,
We'll have a lending conversation another day, but lending is still tough. Although there are new programs coming about, so.
Well, we'll see. Dania, thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Look at the big board, we're still down 20 points. We were down about 20 right before this housing number came out. Had no impact on stocks thus far today. The price of gold, though, that's being held by a weaker dollar. We've got real movement there. Now we're up 33.50 an ounce, 13.27. Charles, you wouldn't touch gold with a 10-foot pole, would you?
I think everyone's shown some gold coin somewhere. Okay. Yeah. And listen, when you were out, we hit that 1,200 number. I thought it was an inflection point. So far, it's proven to be that.
Oh, so you say you're right.
No, but here's the irony: now everyone likes the gold miners more than the gold stuff. I say don't try to be, find yourself the physical metal, put it away, but don't make that your only investment.
It's an estate planning tool, you know that.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But some people think it's an Armageddon planning tool, and I think that's a mistake.
No.
I don't think you want to go about it that way.
You bury it. That's what you do with it.
Well, you buried everything. You got the money buried, the gold buried. Stuart's buried everything.
I've got a big man.
Yeah, and a big mountain, and a big yard.
One more time. Thank you very much indeed. We're waiting. I keep saying this. We're waiting for the blood of the royal baby. Here's a look at the London hospital where the Duchess of Cambridge is in labour right now. Here's what we're waiting for. Somebody is going to emerge from that door holding a letter encased in an envelope, a royal envelope. That envelope will be taken with a large police escort, followed by helicopters, to Buckingham Palace. The Queen, the sovereign, must be the first to know who indeed is the heir. That person, the sovereign, must be first. When she knows, the rest of the world will know via Twitter and Facebook indeed. What names are the favourites? Alexandra for a girl, George for a boy, Victoria for a girl. That's according to Paddy Power, the old site that we just talked to moments ago. But please remember, the name of the heir must be approved by the sovereign. So don't expect to hear a formal declaration of what the name is going to be for some time. Okay, that's the British. To Nicole, the home builders dropping on that existing home sales disappointing number. Give me the numbers, please.
Okay, start with the home builders. To the downside, Lennar down 2%. All these home builders are pulling back. Those existing home sales came in. They were disappointment. There's some who would argue and be on your side and say, obviously, mortgage rates have been on the rise. Also, seasonality. It's the spring selling season. It's not the summer selling season. So maybe they just pull back a little bit.
How about McDonald's? I know it's down, but I think it's the biggest loser off the down, right?
It is, and that's what's making the Dow be in negative territory here because McDonald's came out with their numbers and actually forecast going forward their full year numbers may be under pressure. So European sales and intense competition. Can we talk about the baby for just 1 moment?
Yeah,
I'm going to because I think that it was beautiful how you gave your take to everybody, and I think everybody understands having roots of some sort and really understanding those. And secondly, I'm fascinated by them. I can't wait for this baby. I've been watching every single day, and I think that Will and Kate have done wonders for England in addition to all that we've seen. I think the morale in England is really improved.
I think you're right on all counts, and I've got a question for you.
And Andy Murray, too. I mean, that helped them.
Let's not forget.
Yeah. Go ahead, another goodie. Yeah.
Will you shed a tear when the baby is born? find out.
I will let you know that remains to be seen, but I'm really excited. I also understand her as a new mother. I think it's beautiful. Young love is something to admire. I think it's beautiful. And they're celebrity, of course.
If we get the announcement during Barney and Company, that will be for the next 53 minutes. The camera is going to be on you. Okay? All right, sounds good. I've got a segue here. Charles, would you touch McDonald's stock with a 10-foot pole at 97?
Just put a silver hat on.
We did.
Yeah, we had some. I think our average cost is about 90, and it's just.
Wait a minute. You were the guy who always says, you use McDonald's, you like the product, buy the stock.
Well,
Well, you don't like McDonald's nuggets any longer?
I think I go to McDonald's once every 2 or 3 months. And that's usually for breakfast if a whole bunch of people spent the night on Saturday. If I got like 25 family members, including 12 kids, they're all going to have breakfast from McDonald's. No one's cooking in the house, okay? But it's an emergency outlet for us.
But you wouldn't buy it tonight.
No, it seems pretty clear that Americans are moving more toward this fast casual where you just sit down. Even last week, Kentucky Fried Chicken said they're going to attempt to do that. But this real pure fast food thing, I think there's a serious pushback against that. Just like there's a pushback against carbonated sodas or a pushback against cigarettes. I think there's a serious movement in this country against that.
That's
sort of
interesting.
thing.
A
Yeah.
good point. Thank you, Charles. Detroit Mayor Dave Bing, he's leaving the doors open for a federal bailout. Some prominent Republicans are saying they're being at least open to some federal help. It's what GOP Congressman Bill Huizenga told us on this program Friday.
A direct bailout, which I don't think is going to be happening. I couldn't go along with that as it's currently structured. However, I think there's a difference between bailing out a state or a city like this versus trying to add some help to them. So that might be a possibility.
That's interesting. So the basic question is this: should President Obama help Detroit? Joining us now for more is Liberal Radio News, Nancy Skinner. Nancy, what a pleasure to have you back on the program. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Stuart.
I'm not going to fight with you. I know we're on opposite sides of the fence politically, but I can ask you a straightforward question. Do you think that the president should bail out or just help somewhere or other, help Detroit?
Yeah, a direct bailout, I agree, is not in the works because the city is not like the auto companies. Where the auto companies, we had a recession, and we knew that they would once again have increased auto sales. They went from 8 million to 15 million. So that's a model you can work with. This city, though, needs restructuring help. So I do think, because of the situation as it is, that there are some avenues where they can help in terms of the federal programs that are going on, the stimulus programs, green jobs, trying to help relocate businesses and get that city back on its feet. There are lots of ways they can do that. Not a bailout.
Okay, not about, but some kind of help. You would approve of that, and you think it's likely. I've got Stephen Ratner. Now, he's the car czar. He had a lot to do with overseeing the bankruptcy of Chrysler, for example. He says, yeah, do it. Help Detroit. He says that the people of Detroit, the current residents of Detroit, they're no more responsible for the hole that they are in than the victims of Sandy were responsible for the storm. And it's the victims of Sandy who got helped big time to the tune of $60 billion. So he's making almost a moral comparison here and saying, you've got to do this. What do you make of that argument?
Well, there are 100 cities behind us ready to file a bankruptcy court. So, the president has to look at that. But yeah, it is a disaster. It's an economic disaster. And Stephen's right in that regard. The bondholders here, they're all crying and screaming. They refuse to take a bus tour by Kevin Orr to look at these abandoned buildings. They want to recoup their entire investment. Even though out of every dollar of general obligation fund, they are getting 46 cents of that dollar. Then only 54 cents goes to all the other services. Police, fire, everything else for the citizens.
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, we don't know yet what the bankruptcy judge, when and if the judge actually gets control of this case. We don't know who's going to get what. But suffice it to say, you wouldn't give the creditors, there was a couple of European banks in there, you wouldn't give them a dime. I mean, they don't give any help. But you would maybe put some money into basic services for the city. But here's my last question, Nancy. Do you expect this? Do you think it's likely?
I'll tell you, here's why I do. Detroit, what people are not reporting in the national media is that we have billionaires like Dan Gilbert who bought 29 buildings, and they have already gotten entrepreneurs there. We have all kinds of activity going on in the downtown areas. We have casinos, MGM Grand. There's there's entertainment. We had a film tax credit that our governor killed off. When we had movies all over, George Clooney, Clint Eastwood, you name it, and our governor stepped in and cut that off. What would that have done for the city of Detroit to diversify from the auto industry, and what didn't they do? So yes, the federal government should look at, let's get a reaction into what can we do? How can we recreate this great city that built the American middle class, I would say, Stuart.
I hear you, Nancy. And I'm glad we didn't indulge in a nasty political fight today. It was a pleasure having you back on the show.
You too.
Nancy, thank you very much indeed, yeah. Okay. Charles, come on in for a second here. Because you don't think,
Oh, man, I was just grimacing at some of the things she says. First of all, you have to accept responsibility. This is the first and foremost, to fix these problems, you have to acknowledge how they happen. Had nothing to do with not going movies there. This is like Greece. I tell people all the time, the Greece that we know didn't become the Greece that we know overnight. It started in the 1970s when they went to communist socialist rule. The Detroit that we're witnessing right now started 30, 40 years ago. This is a compilation of years of bad policy.
all right, now, wait a second. Come on, let's get real. They've got no money. They've got $18 billion in debt. Now, what happens? I mean, do you just total no services, no police, no fire, nothing? I mean, do you do that? Do you do that?
You don't do that.
But that's what you're staring at.
But you're staring at a lot of things, okay? But we're looking at a city that's the self-inflicted wound.
Yes.
Now, if you're talking about pouring money in there this month, then you got to pour money in next month, then you got to pour money in the month after that, then the money after that. I mean, it's a terrible thing, but we have to acknowledge how it happened before we can truly fix it.
Charles, we hear you. When it comes to Detroit, the issue comes down to unions and pensions too, and a lot of other things as well, actually. And now, one judge says a bankruptcy filing is unconstitutional. All rise because our judge on that is next.
Well, hi there, sugar butt. Did you come to see me? Yeah, Mama. What you doing? Huh? What are you doing? We're gonna get this. What do we have? We have you got my shoulder for the ride. Okay, we can do that. Say hello, camera. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. There we go.